Nicolas Lemoine, thanks for joining us on Xerfi Canal. You are the Executive Director of the Custom Programs at HEC Paris Executive Education. You give lectures about the first 90 days after starting a new job. So in France, at least, this period is considered as a milestone when commentators, for example, in the media, examine political mandate. Is it just as important in the business field?
Well, I would say it's even more important.
Even more important.
It's even more important. If you consider the Michael Watkins and its bestseller, The First 90 Days, clearly what he spots in his book is that most of the failure in a job transition, the roots of the failure resides in the first 90 days. So it means that when you're not creating incremental value, and even worse, when you are downgrading the value creation in your position, the roots of this situation are basically located within the first 90 days.
What are the issues that deserve close attention during this period, and what are the pitfalls to avoid?
Well, you know, you and I, we know where we are competent and when we are incompetent. That is clearly well spotted in our mind. And when we are entering an incompetency area, we are aware, we are extremely cautious because we know that we don't know everything. What is truly at risk when you join a new company is that, well, human nature is such that you want to take care of what interests you, passionate you, engage you, and leave aside your what I call the area of non-interest. Well, basically, when you enter a new position, this area, you don't know if it's not of paramount importance for the success of your mission. And when you combine this area of non-interest with your zone of incompetency, then clearly you are entering a red zone.
Overall, what do you think this period should be devoted to? Strategic thinking or action?
Well, there's a debate.
There's a debate.
Yeah, there's clearly a debate on that particular point. What I'm trying to explain to the student is that the study demonstrates that when early decision, when I mean early decisions are structural decisions, vast organizational changes, large magnitude projects are initiated within the first 90 days. There is a second wave that happens usually about 9 to 12 months later. So probably it doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything. If there is an emergency situation, such as a social crisis, such as a bankruptcy incoming, then you need to act. Yeah, definitely you need to act. But if you're not facing such situation, then my advice is to think twice and to give a little bit of time. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do anything again, but you can bring some quick wins to your management and to your staff. Which demonstrate that you understand the situation. So avoid a large magnitude type of initiative.
When starting a new job, there's a form of virginity towards the corporate culture, the issues, the processes, the company's environment. Do you think this virginity is a weakness to overcome with strategic thinking? Well,
it's a weakness that you can turn into a strength, definitely. It's a weakness because you ignore, but it's also an occasion, first of all, to learn, and also to bring who you are. The image that I'm using is the sponge. Yeah, you need to absorb the culture, you need to absorb the process, you need to absorb the mindset of the company, its strategy. There's a lot of information to gather, but also you can bring in there your own experience, your passion, your innovation spirit. So it's clearly a weakness, but you can turn it into a strength by demonstrating that while you acquire the culture of the company and you understand the mission, you are also bringing some fresh air and some different way of thinking.
Well, thank you very much, Nicolas Lemoine, for this precious advice to be successful in the first 90 days.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.